Ladies and gentlemen, Web3 gaming has been growing significantly, and even after a market correction, the tech community and ecosystem behind this industry are clearly growing stronger. So now let's join it in hearing more about Web3 gaming industry. Now let's join it in welcoming our distinguished guest. And now let's welcome our moderator, Mr. Yellow Panther, KOL and founder of Gaming Grid.
So first of all, just a quick introduction. I'm Yellow Panther, gaming content creator, advising some of the top projects like Virtual, Scarf, and many others. And today I am extremely excited. Thank you, GM Vietnam, for having me for the first time. And I have a legendary panel here today. So I hope the audience, you guys are ready to learn a thing or two about crypto gaming today. Okay, so without further ado, let's start with quick introductions. Let's go with Trong.
Sure. Hi guys. I'm glad to be in the panel. This is actually my first time to join a conference this big in Hanoi. And happy to share with you guys like all the ups and downs, all the experience of Web3 gaming. I know that we have been through a lot, but yeah, it's time for like some really like heartfelt sharing for Web3 gaming. A little bit about myself. I'm Chung from Sky Mavis, the studio behind Axie Infinity and Ronin. We focus solely on Web3 gaming, but also expand to gamified experience recently on Ronin. So it has been some good years, has been some bad years for Web3 gaming. But I think if we are still here and look at Web3 gaming as something that we want to bet on, then it already says a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, let's go with you, Dave.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Vietnam. My name is Dave. So I'm currently leading the Ancient A ecosystem team. A brief introduction about Ancient A. We are building the Web3 gaming ecosystem empowered by the Ancient A Layer 2, which is built on the OP Stack superchain under. So Ancient A, we offer a diverse suite of product from infrastructure for game development, native archive abstraction, to user acquisition protocols and distribution through our content creator network as well. And it's also my genuine pleasure to be sharing alongside with Chúng, Yellow Panther, and also Sonium as well. And can't wait to share.
Awesome. Let's go with Yuji-san.
GM Vietnam. So
GM.
So on Sonium, GM means go mainstream, actually. So we defined those one of the key values on the Sonium that we like the GM totally. So my name is Yuji Kumagai, and I'm a CSO of Startel Group. Startel is one of two core contributors of Sonium with the Sony Group, you know. So it's a completely Sony blockchain. It's same as the Dave, that we are the layer 2, Ethereum layer 2 solution with the OP stack, one of the part of the superchain. And as a Startel, we provide other development tools like RPC node services and account abstraction wallet solutions for more mass users. And I'm leading entire blockchain businesses in Startel. And yes, I'm Japanese and based in Singapore, so I would like to provide more my perspective from Japan, Asia to you. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. So very interestingly, I grew up playing PlayStation, and Sony is, entering crypto gaming. It's very, very interesting, and it feels like a very cool moment just for me personally. So let's start off with some fun question, okay, before I go dive deep into crypto gaming. So let's start with, what is your childhood game that you play growing up? You can only choose one. And I may or may not judge you. I may or may not judge you. All right, let's go.
I can only choose one?
Yeah.
If I have to choose one, I could say Dota.
Dota?
Yeah.
One or two? I will judge you.
If it's two, then the second one would be Pokemon.
Okay, okay.
I grew up actually playing a lot with World of Warcraft. Every morning, I remember when I wake up, I usually go to the Epic World page where I can download some UGC contents regarding the different maps, different gameplay of World of Warcraft as well. And that is one of the biggest motivation for me to actually heading over into Web3 gaming with the inspiration from Axie Infinity as well. So yeah.
Awesome. What about you?
For me, Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy, yes, that's RPG games by Square Enix on PlayStation. So I play those ones with my friends every time after the school.
Okay, mine is Pokemon. Okay, don't judge me, please. All right. Okay. Okay. Now let's start. Okay. So I'll be using the term crypto gaming and Web3 gaming interchangeably, but guys, it's gonna be the same. Okay. At the end of the game, this is just gaming powered by blockchain technology. Okay. So we have been facing a very, very tough year this year, 2025, for Web3 gaming. How would you assess the state of Web3 gaming last year versus this year? What are some of the key trends or key changes that you have noticed? Let's start with you, Trong.
So I would say last year people still had a lot of hope for Web3 gaming, especially with the appearance of pixels. So finally, right, people have some rally around a specific game that create some hype and also to give like very new perspective about Web3 gaming, how people look into game economy, how people look into gameplay, how do they really form any social loops, right? And then after that, we also have some other games that make some, I would say, buzz around the appearance of those. But at the end of the day, we don't really have anything too hopeful this year, 2025. And after so many years and a lot of money that put into Web3 gaming, I could make a bold statement that no game has been really close to the success of Axie Infinity in 2021.
Yeah, that's spicy.
But that's not something that we could be very proud of. It's actually something we need to overcome in order to grow the whole Web3 gaming industry even further. So, I mean, if we cannot do that, then how can we, I could say, revive the industry, right?
That's very true because just a fun fact for the audience, up till today, Axie Infinity is still the top most volume traded NFT collection on the Ethereum mainnet. Guys, can we just clap for this statement right here? This is the pride actually for Vietnam actually, because if you guys don't know, Sky Mavis is from Vietnam, and you know, after the rank 2 is obviously CryptoPunks and Bored Apes, etc. But none of them is even close. Other crypto gaming is even close to the trading volume that Axie Infinity had back in 2021 cumulatively. And I think that is a very good statement that we need to work towards this. We need to at least fight this milestone to even grow, right? So what about you, Dave?
I personally agree with what Chung just mentioned, but I think in 2024 and also 2025, right, there's a new shift in terms of the definition of Web3 gaming. Especially, it doesn't exist only in the form of a normal gameplay with a heavy graphic as we used to see, but more like on the application layer, because they are made of with the game-driven theory. For example, like social card game, right? They implement the social elements in which the content creators can also contribute to the game and capture the value out of it under a game-driven theory. And also, we're also seeing more DeFi protocols, also gamifying the financial strategy as well. And I also believe that is the greatest way for blockchain games to actually attract and onboard traditional user onto Web3 with the beautiful, unique selling point of blockchain to be determined.
I would say two topics. The first one is gaming blockchain. Of course, after the launching, so as Dave said, they launched their own blockchain. And I managed my own blockchain fund before, for 3 years in Singapore before the start of Sonium. So we invested in Giải XAI. It's an Arbitrum layer 3 gaming blockchain. And Fusionist is another layer 2 gaming blockchain with the OP stack. So those gaming specific blockchain launched their own token and ecosystem together last year, for example. And it was successful. And with those tokens, grants, and incentives, they attracted and built other new gaming ecosystem on top of their blockchains. That was one of the good moments. But as they mentioned, so there are no so long-term successful games from there, unfortunately. But we are still in a tough time, so I believe we will change the world. And the second point is that the distribution channel. So everyone was excited about Telegram mini games last year. That was one of the big moments. So we cannot say it's successful at least, but at least so we can say if we get great distribution channel, so we can reach out to more general users in global market. So that's why I believe that one of the strategy in Sonium is alignment with and the integration, the collaboration with Line. Line is a more Asian the messenger application. So we want to build more sustainable and profitable ecosystem with those distribution channels. So that's one of the big strategy this year.
We would love to also ask a quick question. Do you know the number of users between Line versus Telegram? On top of your head?
It's a more general monthly users. Probably Telegram will have more than one. Sorry, I'm not sure. The Line side is
Okay, maybe Line.
Monthly active users is 200 mil.
Okay.
200 mil. The Telegram is much more than that.
Yep.
Yes.
Understand. I think I really appreciate you talking about tap to earn and Ton gaming because that was a exciting time around this time last year, but it quickly died down because it was simply unsustainable, right? I would like to ask, what are some of the new economic models that are emerging as alternative to play to earn or tap to earn? And can you provide some of the insights on which economic model you think would be sustainable for the long term of crypto gaming?
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, this is the hardest question because you guys were the king of play to earn.
Okay, let's go a little bit technical here. I think, well, there are two things about Web3 gaming that prevent its growth. One, games are actually a type of product that rely a lot on distribution, and we don't have the full distribution pipeline in Web3 right now. So the appearance of Telegram is very interesting because finally people have tools, right? People can tap into a much larger audience instead of just have, I would say, 1 to 5 millions of Web3 players before we have games on Telegram. And two, well, it's not like other type of products. Games are actually a very crafted type of experience. So you cannot expect a game to fulfill all the roles in a user growth pipeline. If you have a very casual game that are good at acquiring users and directing those users to somewhere else, you cannot expect that game to monetize too well because the type of audience in that game would be much different. And let's say if you have an RPG game which have deep gameplay, deep economy, then it's very hard for that game to attract a lot of users at the beginning. It has to rely on user acquisition channels in order to grow. And they have to even target the right type of users because the casual players would not spend a lot of money inside that kind of RPG game. So to connect between tap to earn any kind of economic model, I think Telegram opens a door so that we have simply a lot of users that we can tap on. And it's also very easy to games because if you think about game as first party content, then it's very hard in Web3 gaming as we see after several years we don't really have right a lot of right games that come into production. But if we only need to make very small game on Telegram, then basically you can have right a lot of games in short amount of time. So that's enough content for people to enjoy. But at the same time, because it's too casual, because it's too right limited in terms of gameplay, people just cannot play for long. And that's just the truth, right? And when we talk about Web3 gaming, we always talk about right, economy, social interactions, something that make people like stay and enjoy interacting with others players. That doesn't happen in Telegram with tap to earn game. So I think it opens new doors, but also right, like also bring new problems because all the games that we are developing right now in Web3 gaming cannot just plug into Telegram. So we start to see like games on Telegram that acquire users and direct those users to the main game so that we can monetize even better. The economic model, I definitely want to mention risk to earn. Why? Because
Risk to earn?
risk to earn, yeah.
Risk to earn. Okay.
Because it's much more sustainable. Why? It plays into the very natural characteristic of like Web3 crypto users when they want to enjoy the thrilling of right speculation. So if we combine that with any gamification that already create some sort of right very foundational model for a game. Compared to tap to earn, right? It's actually similar in a way because people tap to right, earn something, but it might not be very valuable immediately. Right? They might wait for a token launch. So that's also some speculation around the game model. But if that speculation is only for right, getting more money out of the box, then it will not sustain for sure.
That's very true.
So I think what we want to see more in Web3 gaming right now is that people want to spend right, either for speculation or for any social motivation so that they can right, really prove themselves, have some social proof to flex on other people and enjoy the feeling of being someone important inside a different world. So that kind of feeling, that's what people look for when they want to maybe like take some moment off the real world, right?
I think that's a very, very technical, and also after that, towards the end, you gave a very broad overview on what the crypto degens and crypto gamers actually want. I think very, very insightful. Thank you so much, Trong. So Dave, tap to earn has been more like an extraction event last year. We have huge games like Catizen hitting $1 billion valuation FDV, but we have only seen the chart going down only, right? And why do you think it's unsustainable, and what do you think crypto gaming can do to make the economic more sustainable?
Absolutely, bro. Personally, I actually don't consider play to earn or play to airdrop as a economic model, but rather a go-to-market initiative or strategy that any game should use it efficiently and nicely. So as to use it nicely, firstly, you need to define your target audience very in details. Don't actually over-promise, but under-deliver. Because if you are launching a tap to earn on Telegram, for example, then you might attract a lot of speculators that will just come and extract the value out of it. But instead of that, actually spend more time on tailoring the strategy, the traction that, and also define the ones that you actually want to onboard onto your ecosystem. And the onboarding phase is really important, yes, but so as to retain the user and turn and convert them onto your user, it has to come from the intrinsic value of the product and also adaptable with the market as well. And for me, the upcoming economic model that are trendy right now is actually the expansion of new stakeholders that involve onto the game development and distribution. In last, like 2022, we see mostly a guild, developer, and the user, right? But right now we also explore new stakeholders like the artists that customize the characters, the modifiers that do the user-generated contents are actually the one also contribute to the game development, and they will be counted in the economic model as well. And there is one special stakeholder that I recognize recently is the AI agent. Is also actually joining the Web3 gaming as well. I think YP know this one a lot, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, my agent, Agent YP, my twin, is somewhere in the digital web doing his thing. Okay, so Yuji, I think Trung and also Dave mentioned some very interesting points. What you mentioned just now, using Line as a great way distribution model to get users and stuff like that. But Trung has a counter argument that the game play is very limited. And how do you think you guys at Sonium can do a good job at retaining or even bringing some of these users into a different game in your ecosystem?
Of course, everyone should have their own option, their strategy for the future strategy. So, but in our ecosystem, so one of the my thought is that we need more Web2 monetization. So that's why we will utilize those existing distribution channels to reach out to Web2 users with Web3 ways. So when we consider the free-to-play model, for example, so just 5% of entire user pay majority of revenue. And instead of that, the 95% rest of them can play the games for free. That was free to play. So one of the thesis is that in this play and earn model, so around 5 to 10% will pay those majority of them. And 5 to 10% will be the contributor. It might be a high paid users, might be community builders, might be early adopters. They can have some rights to receive some revenue sharing from those majority of revenue. And the rest of them just play for free. So that's one of the thesis with existing distribution channel. So that's why the biggest market is in line is Japanese. The half or more than half of the 200 million users, as I said, is Japanese. And the rest of them are Indonesian and Thailand, Taiwan, Korea. So, and especially Japan, Korea, China, they are very high ARPU users, right?
Yep.
The average revenue per user. This is ARPU, the high revenue users. So that will generate more sustainable the tokenomics and the entire game mechanism. So that's one of our approach.
That's indeed very true that Japan users has one of the highest spending power in Asia. All right, yeah, I think we tackled some of the harder questions, economic models, some things that have not gone the right way within the past year or even this year in crypto gaming. So we'd love to further ask a general question, okay? Do you guys think AAA games work in Web3 gaming? Or do you think indie games have a higher chance? Or like even a simple game online or Telegram have a higher chance in succeeding? What are some of your thoughts? AAA or other type of games? Trung?
Right now, I don't think we have cracked the problem of Web3 gaming yet. We are still experimenting. We are still advancing the industry as a whole. And in order to do that, we really need fast product development, really fast iterations, really fast feedback loop. And in order to do so, I could say games with a controllable scope is much more viable to win compared to AAA game. Let alone the fact that the audience of AAA games, like PC gamers, for example, they actually criticize Web3 gaming a lot. It's not even within their territory. And every time when you mention Web3, NFT, they kind of rage. So it's hard to penetrate that audience type if we aim AAA games that have like Web3 and NFT inside. So that's simply the truth. I think other than AAA games, when we talk about like I mentioned, games as first-party content, we even at the moment we are not able to integrate games outside of some very specific genres with Web3. We only have like TCG, maybe some 4X strategy, and the king of the genres in Web3 gaming right now, RPG, and then we have FPS, right? But what about the games that developers can create content very quickly? Puzzle, for example, we cannot even integrate puzzle with Web3 gaming right now. And if we cannot solve the content development, content making problems, then I don't think, I mean, we still have a lot of longer hanging fruit problems to solve before we get to the point of making AAA games work in Web3.
Very good answer. Dave?
Yeah, I think it might be feasible right now to build a AAA on-chain, on somehow. However, if the question is like how effective it is to build AAA there, it's not really. But I still believe like there are some angles that we can explore even further for using the blockchain in AAA games. Like it's not really necessary for bringing the whole in-game logics onto on-chain, right? But some parts, as I just mentioned as well, like user-generated content, the customization will also be a great way for AAA games to actually gather the existing resource over there, the external resource, rather than just developing it by themselves. We already have some case study, not really a AAA, but like UGC games in traditional market, like Roblox or Minecraft, for example. They are doing pretty well in terms of leveraging the external resource of the young talents, young modifiers. Yeah, but the thing they are doing right now is really centralized. So I think in the near future, we can expect Web3 gaming to have similar case study like Roblox or Minecraft.
Awesome. What about you, Yuji?
Yeah, totally agree for both opinions. And in addition to that, so first of all, why we are building the AAA titles in the ecosystem? Probably they want to achieve the play for fun. It was a counter proposal from the play to earn. So, but first of all, regardless of Web 2 or Web 3, it's super hard to build successful games, yeah, as they said. So that's why even if they try the AAA titles, it's super hard. And additionally, it requires a huge amount of the development fees. So in current Web3 market, it's not easy to raise such a 20 mil, 30 mil, or more than 100 mil. So I was in a Japanese listed mobile game entertainment company and building the mobile native applications. So even just so it's a mobile game with a 3D model. It requires more than 50 mil development fees. So that's so huge. And how we can raise those money and develop. And one of the anti-pattern in Web3 is spend much money for development side, but no more budget for marketing side.
Oh, man.
But we need the same amount of marketing fees, same as the development side. This is one of the very general strategy in the traditional market. So that's why it's very tough. It's feasible, but very tough to build AAA.
Very, very true, actually, because off the grid, the most anticipated, also the best game of 2024 last year, they spent hundreds of millions in just their marketing spend alone. And it only worked for a bit. And then a few months later, the retention of the gamers dropped significantly. So I think we are here at the point where AAA games are very, very risky and high risk to develop versus the reward is just not there. It's too risky to take this approach. As Yuji said, you may spend most of your budget, probably 80 to 90% already on development. And if your game is ready and there's no marketing, spending, and who's gonna know about your game, correct? So that is a constant dilemma and challenges that we are facing in crypto gaming. So moving forward, I want to ask, what is one key challenges that you guys are facing right now in Web3 gaming? Let's start with you, Trong. Is this still gonna be economic for you or something else?
I could say distribution/audience, because I mean we are one of the prominent players that create play to earn, and that also set a, I could say, pretty bad precedent for the industry, because every time when people think about Web3 gaming, they just want to earn something.
Yeah.
Even the people that are willing to spend in traditional games, in Web2 games, when they come to Web3 gaming, they just don't want to spend. And if we cannot change that, then I think it's very hard for Web3 games to actually make a success. So I would go with distribution/audience.
Awesome. Dave?
Yeah, for me, I think one of the biggest problem that we are seeing right now is the liquidity fragmentation, and also the fragmentation in terms of the access to latest technologies in the market. For example, like most of the Web3 gaming projects, they build, for example, like on BNB, on Ancient, on Ronin, on Base, for example. And whenever there's a new technology released on Base, for example, then we need to actually fork it, or we need to develop a new version of it, which is time consuming and resource consuming as well. So I believe like if we can solve the problem of interoperable for solving the liquidity fragmentation, and also the access to latest technology in the market out there to have a better development resource.
Actually, same distribution. But if I will raise other perspective, it's funding, the money. So currently, because of this market, crypto gaming condition, so not easy to raise the money. So it will demotivate game studios to launch the new games and maintain existing ones. And even if they launch a token on the exchanges, not easy to make a big TG successful. So that's why. To build successful games, we need more titles. But without those money, we cannot launch, develop more titles. That's a challenge in the market.
I love these challenges, and I hope some of our key players on stage here today is able to continue and potentially solve some of these challenges in Web3 gaming. So as we are wrapping up, we are right now middle of the year, a very good place where we can throw a bold prediction on where or what we might see crypto gaming going in the next year. So I will be asking some bold predictions from each of you. So let's start with Trung. What's your bold prediction for Web3 gaming in 2026?
I think just based on my observations and also chatting with people in the industry, this year might not be enough. We still have a lot to do, but maybe next year we will be able to see people start cracking the problem of Web3 gaming. So I believe we are on the right track.
Hopefully, Sky Mavis will continue to pave the way for many of us. Dave?
Yeah, with the case study that already proven in 2024 or 25 regarding like gamify application, which is really easy to build and not really time consuming as well. So I believe like thanks to the development of AI, we can see more hyper casual games will be released from solo entrepreneurs.
Solo teams.
Solo
okay,
team,
very, very good bet. I like that.
So the distribution channel is crucial. So Line is just an example. But as you mentioned, the Off the Grid finally launched the Steam officially. So that's going to be one of the good moments in Web3. So there will be a lot of Web3 gaming. It could be Web 2.5 games in the existing traditional gaming market. So that's going to be one of the big key success factors.
Okay, my prediction is GTA 6 may or may not implement blockchain. And if they do, it might become the biggest crypto game of all time that we will ever see. The magnitude will be insane. But with that, thank you so much, everyone. This has been a legendary gaming panel. I hope you guys learned a thing or two. Let's take a picture in front of the table. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Vietnam.
To all our panelists, and now let's take some photos. That was a fantastic Web3 gaming session with a lot of ideas have been shared to all of us. Thank you so much to all our panelists, and now let's take some group photos together. Once again, thank you to all our panelists.